We are live. Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to share this. I don't think anyone's here, so that's fine. So how we share. Lovely. I'll explain once more people on why I've got the wrong link. It's my bad, but we will fix this tomorrow. I have a feeling we'll have some connection issues, so I really apologize in advance if that's the case. Awesome, we've got a couple of people. Hello to yous. Don't know where the Yorkshire accents come from. I apologise already. Cool. Hi, Mum. Yeah, so for those who don't know me too well, I'm moving flat at the minute. Tonight's probably the last night in this flat. Got it to Friday, but yeah, there's most of my stuff. Like those are all empty. This is just the stuff I'm taking tomorrow. Things have been a little hectic here, but it's all good, going well. But means the next quiz will either be with Fraser or we will be in my new flat. I don't know where. I haven't figured out where it's going to be the best place to do that from, but we'll figure that out as we go along. Got a really cool windowsill. That's not the most exciting thing about the window. The view is amazing, but the windowsill is also decent. Getting a few people. Yeah, so the issue with the link was that because Fraser used like a different system last week, I'd scheduled it as one that needed a certain software that I didn't have, whereas I need to use the one that just says webcam login because I don't use music that's plugged into the laptop. I just do it live, not bragging or anything. But yeah, so basically I couldn't use the stream that's set up. So that is a useless link that I will have to delete after the stream. But yeah. Also, my hair has changed color magically. Not quite as noticeable because I haven't done anything to it, hence because of moving, but it's there. I'm not sure who's all here, but I know there's a couple, at least another team coming. So we will hold off for a few more minutes whilst people find the right link and get themselves settled. I will post a link, the form while I'm here. So I might as well. I can't believe we're on week 9 of this already. It's wild. I also kind of wrote this quiz in like 2 parts. So like part of it last Friday, I think I felt really productive and started doing it, and then got distracted by sorting things out for the move, and then did the rest this morning and this afternoon. So I apologize if it's either too hard or just disjointed because I didn't do my usual like finding a mix of questions at different levels. We'll see. Something's missing. Yeah. While waiting for the last few people, or the next few people to join us, I'm just going to quickly run through how the quiz will work again. It's the same as we always do. We've got a form to send out, so have that open, or just write down the questions yourself on paper, and you can either mark it yourself or submit the form for me to mark. We have 5 rounds. The first round is 10 questions of general knowledge. Second round is the winners round from last week. They chose to do a history round this week. 10 questions as well there. We then have a lyrics round, 5 questions, but 2 points for each question. This week it is UK Christmas number ones, but I have not picked any Christmas ones or any X Factor ones, just to make it more interesting. Then we have our Kazuka-lele round, which is live music, questionable live music, to, again, find the artist and the song, just random songs from my Spotify playlist, not sponsored. And then we have our wipeout round, which, again, I will explain when we get to it, but it's basically general knowledge with a twist. So I think we're getting a few more people. Numbers still changing, so I'll just wait a minute or two, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab your pen and paper or your Google form. Hello, Fraser. Or heyo, in your words. Okay, I think we will make a start. So hopefully everyone's got the thumbs up or some paper or something to write their answers on. And we'll get started with round one, general knowledge. So question 1. What is the collective noun used for a group of grasshoppers? What's the collective noun for a group of grasshoppers? Question 2. Where in Britain is Ronaldsway Airport? Where in Britain would you find Ronaldsway Airport? Question 3. Which famous film star danced in the video to Fatboy Slim's 2001 track Weapon of Choice? That's which famous film star danced in the video to Fatboy Slim's 2001 track Weapon of Choice? Question 4. On the 6-stripe pride flag, what is the meaning of the green stripe? So on the 6-stripe pride flag, as in the one that I have behind me, what is the meaning of the green stripe? It's at the top on mine because I didn't put it the whole way down. Whoops. Question 5. In which 2 British cities is train spotting set? So in which 2 British cities is train spotting set? Question 6. Which artist painted the poppy field in 1873? So which artist painted the poppy field in 1873? Question 7. Who has the record for the highest Test cricket score for England? So who has the record for the highest Test cricket score for England? Question 8. What was the first name of Agatha Christie's Miss Marple? What was the first name of Agatha Christie's Miss Marple? Question 9. Which famous entertainer composed music for Sonic 3? So which famous entertainer composed music for Sonic 3? And finally, question 10. Which country is the origin of the cocktail mojito? So the cocktail mojito came from which country? Okay, and we're on to round 2. So this is the choice of the winners from last week. They chose a history round. I may have slightly hijacked it a little bit, so it's a mix of queer history, Black history, and general swing history as well. Yeah, so let's get into it. Question 1. Who is often stated to have thrown the first brick at Stonewall? So who is often stated to have thrown the first brick at Stonewall? Question 2. Which entertainer and activist was the first mixed race performer to star in a major motion picture in 1927? So which entertainer and activist was the first mixed race performer to star in a major motion picture in 1927? Question 3, and I apologize for how wordy some of these are. Got the information from like other sources rather than just quiz pages. So question 3. In 1905, Sigmund Freud presented his theory of psychosexual development in 3 essays on the theory of sexuality. Which sexual orientation did he argue was the baseline sexuality for humans? So I'll go through that one again. In 1905, Sigmund Freud presented his theory of psychosexual development in 3 essays on the theory of sexuality. Which sexual orientation did he argue was the baseline sexuality for humans? Question 4. Taraji P. Henson played Katherine G. Johnson in the movie Hidden Figures. What was Johnson known for? So Taraji P. Henson played Katherine G. Johnson in the movie Hidden Figures. What was Katherine G. Johnson known for? Question 5. In 1897, the first gay liberation organization was founded. In which country was it founded? So in 1897, the first gay liberation organization was founded. In which country was it founded? Question 6. At the time of her historic bus incident, what was Rosa Parks' occupation? We've got 3 options here. A hospital orderly, B, a high school cafeteria worker, or C, a department store seamstress. So I'll repeat that. At the time of her historic bus incident, what was Rosa Parks' occupation? Was it A, a hospital orderly, B, a high school cafeteria worker, or C, department store seamstress? And just to answer, the poppy field painting was 1873. That's 1873. Not 80. I don't know why you do that. No worries. Question 7. In which decade has the term aromantic been found to be used? For the first time. So in which decade was the term aromantic found to be used for the first time? As far as we know. It's one of these ones that developed in an interesting way. So. Question 8. In what year was the Charleston first danced on a Broadway stage? Was it A, 1921, B, 1923, or C, 1925? So in what year was the Charleston first dance on the Broadway stage, on a Broadway stage, sorry? A, 1921, B, 1923, or C, 1925? Question 9. Which dancer is stated to have named the Lindy Hop as a distinctive dance from the breakaway? So which dancer is stated to have named the Lindy Hop as a distinctive dance from the breakaway? I apologize to you non-swing dancers, but it is the EUSDS quiz. So And finally, question number 10. How old was Norma Miller when she joined Whitey's Lindy Hoppers? So how old was Norma Miller when she joined Whitey's Lindy Hoppers? And just to give a hint to those who aren't swing dancers, she was in her teens. So that narrows it down a little bit. It's not multiple choice though. So that's the end of round 2, and should be the end of your first form. So if you'd like any questions repeated from the first 2 rounds, please do let me know. Otherwise, submit your form and I will get marking. Okay, so I've got answers from 3 teams. I think that sounds like it's everyone. So I will just go through that now. If I can get back to the top of this, that'd be great. Okay, so answers for round 1, question 1. The collective noun for a group of grasshoppers is a cloud. You're very close with swarm, but that's for bees, flies, and maybe wasps. I'm not actually sure, but I did look it up because so many of you said swarm, or 2 groups said swarm, but that's enough. Ronaldsway Airport is in the Isle of Man. The film star that's in Fatboy Slim's 2001 track Weapon of Choice is Christopher Walken, which I think you all got. Great video. The green on the 6-stripe pride flag is for nature. All of the stripes are for different things. They're not for certain orientations or genders. However, if they were green, it's mostly associated with aromanticism, I think. I don't know if it's anything else, or a gender. Yeah, in the 2 cities, train spotting set is Edinburgh and London. I gave you half a point if you got one of the cities. I think someone said Edinburgh and Birmingham. It's very close, but not quite right. The artist... The artist who painted the poppy field in 1873 was Claude Monet. The person with the record for the highest Test cricket score for England was Sir Leonard Hutton. I've written Hutton, but I think it's Hutton. That doesn't matter. Agatha Christie's first name, Miss Marple's first name was Jane. And the entertainer who composed music for Sonic 3, a bit of a niche question, but it was Michael Jackson. And mojito is a cocktail that comes from Cuba. So a history round. Marsha P. Johnson is often stated as having thrown the first brick at Stonewall. It's actually unclear whether there was even a brick thrown to start the protests. However, Black and trans members of the community were very much involved, nevertheless, and it's more of a statement to honor those groups that are often left out, but were very much involved. Josephine Baker was the actress the entertainer and activist who was the first mixed race performer to star in a major motion picture in 1927. I gave one team half a point for saying Baker. I can't remember, I think it said Jacqueline Baker. That was close enough. Freud's theory that was that bisexuality was the baseline sexuality for humans, so the answer was bisexuality. Katherine G. Johnson was known for her calculations that helped out with, that basically made NASA go to space. But there was also one team that said she was, where is that one? I gave them a point for being the first Black female mathematician at NASA. That's also the case, I think. The first gay liberation organization was founded in Germany. Rosa Parks was a department store seamstress, or C, if you're doing the multiple choice. I don't think anyone got the next one, right? Which is quite interesting. I thought it might trip you up. The term aromantic has only been found to be used from, it's the 2000s, if going by decades, but it was 2002. And I just want to read the comment it was from. So it was a comment on a Yahoo group for asexuals. And the comment said, "What would be an appropriate term for somebody who is not asexual, but who dreads the concept of being in a relationship? Aromantic? Lol." I just appreciated the LOL. So 2000s. Question 8. The year that Charleston was first danced on a Broadway stage was 1923, or B. The dancer that's stated to have named Lindy Hop was George Shorty George Snowden, and Norma Miller was 14 when she joined the Whitey's Lindy Hoppers. She was the youngest member. Cool. So Dancer, if you want to let me know what you got and how you did, and then I'll give you some scores. We have some interesting team names this week. And I'm also just going to copy in the Google form for the next part so you can get that up whenever you're ready. Do we have dancer? Okay, I'm not sure whether we have dancer with us. They might have lost connection. I'll ask them for the scores in a bit. But as it stands, we have Sarah's Loving Family with 14.5. We have Drippy with 7. And then we have the Grounded Hogs with 5. I was very confused by the Sarah's Loving Family because I believe that team is not my family. I thought the Grounded Hogs had given up their name for a week. What? Blew my mind. Okay, we're going on to round 3. So hopefully you've all got your Google Forms up if you're using them. So as I said, this is the lyrics round, and this is all of the songs in this have been UK Christmas #1s at some point. I've gone through decades, so I will give you the decade that it was #1 in, but not the year. And just for the sake of, I think, a couple of them. I'm stating the decade because a couple of them are covers. And so I'm looking specifically for the artist who covered it and actually got the #1, not the original. And yeah, the like featurings I'm not bothered about, just the main artist on it. Hopefully that's clear. So it's 1 point for the artist, 1 point for the title of the song. So question #1. Question #1 is from the 60s. I'm so glad that she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby buys her things, you know. He buys her diamond rings, you know. She said so. It's really hard not to sing after this one. Question #2. We're skipping the 70s because they had quite a few Christmas songs, and I didn't want to do Christmas songs. So we're going to the 80s. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. I'll repeat that one because it's quite short. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Question 3, coming from the 90s. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. So if I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. Question 4 from the noughties, or the 2000s. Chain reaction running through my veins, pumps the baseline up into my brain. It screws my mind until I lose control. And when the building rocks, I know it's got my soul. I'm not going to repeat that because I know you're going to get it. Unless you do need it, but... I feel like you should, Mum, or especially if Natalie's on the team. Okay, and question 5, last one of the round. This is from the 10s, so between 2010 and 2019. She works at night by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from my father's daughter. She just wants a life for her baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him. It's probably the hardest one, but... Okay, so that's the end of the lyrics round. If you do want any of them repeated, do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to carry on to the Kazukalele round. If I can find all my songs, here we are. I picked all these out last week, so who knows if I can still play it, but we will see. So again, 1 point for the artist, 1 point for the title. Okay. Oh god, I can't remember how to do it. have horrible octave jumps in them, and I hate myself picking them. Okay, question 4. And question 5. Completely messed up the verse, but it's fine. So that's all 5. Go for wipeout. Nice. I think you should at least get 2. The accompaniment of the sirens. If you'd like any repeats or any part repeats or anything, let me know. Number 4, can do. That's all I'm going to give you because the verse goes weird. Cool, and 5 as well. I'll just give you the chorus of that, or I'll give pre-chorus and chorus because the verse is horrible. That's also horrible. Such a good song. Close these. Okay, and 1 and 2 as well. Awesome. Okay, so that was 4 and 5 in that order. This will be a duh. Try and get the right note this time. I can't sing today, sorry. And this one is number 2. I've eaten a bit of food because it's horrible. Number 2. I'm gonna go down the yacht for So hopefully that's okay. That's all the ones I've been asked for. No one wanted number 3 again? Was it just that good that everyone got it straight away? It's quite a distinctive melody, to be fair. Okay, if there's no request, we'll go on to round 5, the wipeout round. So, quick rundown of the rules. 2 points for every question you get right. However, if you get one question wrong, any one question, you get 0 for the entire round. So you can either get 0, 20, or anything in between if you want to miss questions out. If you don't think you're 100% certain, you can just miss it out and you get 0 for that question, but the rest of the round still stands. Somehow I change how I say that every time and go into full-on game show host voice. Okay, so question 1 of round 5. Who created the Angel of the North? So which artist created the Angel of the North? I'll find the question. Question 2. Pac-Man's ghost enemies are dubbed Blinky, Pinky, and Inky. What is the name of the 4th member of the crew? So Pac-Man's ghost enemies are dubbed Blinky, Pinky, and Inky. What is the name of the 4th member of the crew? Question 3. The name of which Central American country means the savior in English? So the name of which Central American country means the savior in English, where Ind came from. Question 4. In which sport is the playing surface known as a sheet while with players aiming towards the house? So in which sport is the playing surface known as the sheet with the players aiming towards the house? Question 5. In the world of food and drink, what does IPA stand for? So in the world of food and drink, what does IPA stand for? And just to clarify, I have to do my not knowing the phonetic alphabet bit. Italian pomegranate apple. That's IPA. I feel at this point it'd be easier if I just learnt the actual phonetic alphabet, but or wait. Question 7. Which city is referred to as the LGBT capital of Britain? So which city is referred to as the LGBT capital of Britain? Oh, frozen a little bit. Question 8. Who played King George VI in the King's Speech? That was number 7. Have I missed something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got question 1 was about the Angel of the North. Question 2 was the Pac-Man ghosts. Question 3 was which country was the savior, or means the savior in English. Question 4 was which sport involves a playing surface known as a sheet with players aiming towards the house. Question 5 was in food and drink, what does IPA stand for? And then question 6. Oh, I didn't say it. You're right. Sorry, I just realized I skipped a question. Thank you for pointing that out. We just got a recap. It's fine. That's all I was doing. So question 6 was actually, what is the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web by E.B. White? So what is the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web by E.B. White? And then question 7 is which city is referred to as the LGBT capital of Britain? So worried I said the answer to something there. That's why I shouldn't multitask. Sorry. I'll run through all the questions at the end just to make sure you've got the right orders, but I won't, what's the word I'm looking for? Penalize anyone for having it in the wrong order. Question 2 was Pac-Man's ghost enemies are dubbed Blinky, Pinky, and Inky. What is the name of the 4th member of the crew? Okay. Question 8. I think I said it and then forgot that I said it. Who played King George VI in the King's Speech? I'll give you a little bit to get that, in case. I think I'm out of sync today. Sorry. And then we have question 9. The MMR, as in, oh, why did I do this to myself? What begins with M? Why am I such a moment? Mandarin, maple, raisin. Sorry, the MMR vaccine protects against which 3 diseases? So the MMR vaccine protects against which 3 diseases? That's MMR. And finally, question number 10. Thanks. Question number 10 was, what was Britney Spears' first single called? So what was Britney Spears' first single called? I've also just realized that I could have used the same word for M twice. It could have been mandarin, mandarin, raisin. Wow. I need to sleep. So that is the last question of the round and of the quiz. So if, as always, if you'd like something repeated, do drop it in the chat. Otherwise, submit your form. I will just quickly run through all the questions in the wipeout round to make sure that thanks. Just to make sure the order's right, because I did kind of mess that up. So question 1, who created the Angel of the North? Question 2, Pac-Man's ghost enemies are dubbed Blinky, Pinky, and Inky. What is the name of the 4th member of the crew? 3, the name of which Central American country means the savior in English? 4, in which sport is the playing surface known as a sheet with players aiming towards the house? 5, in the world of food and drink, what does IPA stand for? 6, what is the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web by Evie White? 7, which city is referred to as the LGBT capital of Britain? 8, who played King George VI in the King's Speech? Question 9, the MMR vaccine protects against which 3 diseases? And question 10, what was Britney Spears' first single called? To be fair, I feel like mandarin maple raisin sounds pretty good, like on a pancake or something. I'd be keen. So maybe not the mandarin. Okay, time for some answers. So for our lyrics round, going through the decades, our 60s song was I Feel Fine by the Beatles. She Loves You, I think, was the following year or the year before. They had like 3 number ones in the 60s, so if you were guessing, the Beatles was definitely a good answer. A good idea, sorry. Question 2 was Always on My Mind by the Pet Shop Boys. As I said at the start, I was looking for the artist who covered it or who got the number one. So in the 80s, it was the Pet Shop Boys. Elvis was the original, though. Our one from the 90s was also a cover. Is I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, originally by Dolly Parton. However, it was popularized in Bodyguard. Yeah, that's not the Titanic one. I get them confused. Question 4 was our naughties one, and it was The Sound of the Underground by Girls Aloud. And I'm sorry to Sarah's loving family, but I did not give you Sound of the Ground. Mostly because I know Fraser's band plays that song, so you know the name of that. Our one from the 10s was Rockabye by Clean Bandit feat. Sean Paul and Anne Marie. But I gave you it, got Clean Bandit. I think everyone who got it gave at least one of the featuring artists. Yeah. Cool. Our Kazukulele round, we had Papa Ute by Stromae. I'm absolutely butchering the French accent. I'm so sorry. Sorry, the one that really made me laugh and I can't find it. Maybe it wasn't this round. Yeah, question 2 was You're Gonna Go Far, Kid by The Offspring. I always thought it was called Dance Monkey Dance as well, but that's the pre-chorus basically. That's actually not monkey, isn't the word. That's the radio edit, shall we say. Question 3 was Big Girls Don't Cry by The Four Seasons or Frankie Valli and The Four Seasons. It changed who it was by every time I looked, so they're the same thing basically. Question 4 was Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder. I'm pretty sure that was in my GCSE music. I can't remember why, but no, it's a different song. I was thinking of You Can Call Me Out. And question 5 was I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. So I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness. Such a good song. Round 5, or Wipeout round. And The Angel of the North was created by Anthony Gormley, who also did the Iron Men, who stand, as far as I know, they're still there on Crosby Beach, where I'm from. The Pac-Man Ghost's enemies are Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. The Central American country that means the savior in English was El Salvador. I think everyone got that one. The sport that includes a surface known as the sheet with players aiming towards the house was curling. IPA is Indian Pale Ale. And the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web is Wilbur. And the LGBT capital of Britain is Brighton. Colin Firth played King George VI in The King's Speech. I put that one in for my mum. The MMR vaccine protects against measles, mumps, and rubella, or more specifically, German measles, mumps, and rubella. And Britney Spears' first single, I'm actually not sure anyone went for this one. No one did. It was Baby One More Time. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't have gone for that one because I think there wasn't much difference between that and the other one that it always gets confused with. What's it called? I've had a complete brain blank, but that's it was Baby One More Time was the first one. So, Denser, if you want to give me your scores. And I'll add them in from all 5 rounds if you could, because I haven't got the first section. And I will hide all these. And also, what is that Britney Spears song? And why can't I remember it? Okay. I'll just give you an average for the rounds that you did. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I know there were some technical difficulties, so it's probably the easiest way. If I can remember what that was, that would help. 20 plus 40. Awesome. Three, 4, and 12. Cool. Oops. That's the wrong way around. You wouldn't think I had half a maths degree. I like a bit of maths, at least spreadsheet maths, not boring math. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Ooh. Okay, so we have 4 teams playing today. So in 4th place are the Grounded Hogs with 19. In 3rd place is Drippy with 24. 2nd place with an average of 28.5 is Densa. And in 1st place is Sarah's Loving Family, or apparently my loving family, with 30. So, oh wait, no, that's not right. I read out the wrong scores. Ignore me, that was all from the last round. Wait, let me do that again. Grounded Hogs got 24. Densa got an average of 28.5. Drippy got 31, so they're in 2nd place. And then in 1st place is still Sarah's Loving Family with 44.5. So, apologies for the mistake, but well done again to Sarah's Loving Family. I believe are the same team who won last week, with an added Fraser. We'll probably be back here again next week. There'll be updates on our Facebook page, and I will and I'll try and get the event up a little bit earlier. That was my bad. Been a little bit distracted, but yeah, there will be a quiz one way or another next week, 7 p.m. on youtube.com/EUSDS week 9, and I finally got our web address right. But it will either be from my new flat or if someone else is doing it, we're not sure yet. But winning team, let me know what you got. No, not what you got. I know what you got. Let me know what you would like the round to be next week. We might have to think of a new prize because you keep winning and keep picking rounds. So it might get a bit boring for you. So we'll figure something out. But for now, let us know what you'd like in the next quiz. And I think that's all from me. So thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. I can't read and speak at the same time, apparently. But yes, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Good night. Wait, I forgot there's 2 buttons.